Essay number 96, The Art of Mindlessness. Everyone's talking about mindfulness these days. Be present. Be conscious. Notice every sensation. Live in the moment. And look, I get it. Mindfulness is important. It might even be the final frontier of human consciousness, the place we all eventually arrive, either embracing each moment or letting them all wash by unconsciously. But I want to talk about something different today. I want to talk about mindlessness. Now, before you close this video thinking I'm about to tell you to zone out and ignore your life, hear me out. This isn't actually about being mindless in the way you think. It's about something much more profound. It's about transcending the mind altogether. We live in a world that's obsessed with thinking. What do you think about this? What's your opinion on that? What's your take? What's your analysis? We've created an entire culture based on overthinking everything to the point where we can't just experience anything anymore. Your mind is running constantly, analyzing, categorizing, judging, comparing, planning, worrying, remembering. You can't eat a meal without thinking about calories. You can't have a conversation without analyzing what it means. You can't even watch a sunset without trying to capture it, caption it, share it, think about it. And we call this intelligence. We call this being conscious. We call this being mindful. But what if I told you that your obsession with thinking is actually what's making you miserable? Reason and logic are crucial to human development, sure. But somewhere along the way, we started trusting our thoughts more than our instincts. We started valuing what we think over what we feel. We started denying our desires, our pleasures, our natural impulses in favor of what's expected, what's normal, what's acceptable. And then we wonder why we're suffering. We wonder why we're anxious. We wonder why we feel disconnected from ourselves and everyone else. You can't confine a human soul to the narrow boundaries of rational thought and not expect it to rebel. You can't cage something that's meant to be wild and then wonder why it's dying. We are the most connected generation in human history, and yet we're more disconnected than ever. We have more ways to communicate than any humans before us, and yet we've forgotten how to actually connect. Our daily conversations are about productivity, optimization, achievement. We talk about what humans can do, not what humans are. We're so focused on the mechanics of living that we've forgotten the experience of being alive. And it's getting worse. We're moving away from anything that can't be quantified, measured, proven. Religion is ignorance. Spirituality is delusion. Intuition is unreliable. Faith is for the weak-minded. We only trust what we can think our way through. But what about all the things that exist beyond thought? What about love, which makes no logical sense? What about beauty, which can't be quantified? What about the feeling in your gut that tells you something's wrong even when everything looks right on paper? We've rejected these things because they're unknown, uncertain, uncomfortable. We can't think our way through them, so we pretend they don't matter. But they're the only things that actually do matter. What we think, we become. And based on what we're becoming, we're thinking way too much about the wrong things. We're thinking about our image instead of our impact. We're thinking about our status instead of our soul. We're thinking about being right instead of being real. And all this thinking, all this processing, all this analyzing, it's not making us smarter, it's making us smaller. Because when you process everything through your mind, you start labeling everything. Good, bad, right, wrong, us, them, acceptable, unacceptable. You create boxes for everything and everyone, and anything that doesn't fit in a box gets rejected. You become comfortable only with what's known, what's familiar, what's already been categorized and understood. This doesn't leave room for mystery. It doesn't leave room for people who aren't like you. It doesn't leave room for experiences that might change you. It doesn't leave room for the unknown, which is where all the magic lives. But here's what's really sick about all this. We've created a culture that profits from this mental categorization. We've made entertainment out of judging each other. We've made a commodity out of comparison. Your entire social media feed is designed to make you think about how you measure up to others. Every headline is crafted to make you judge someone. Every comment section is a battlefield of opinions, everyone trying to prove they're right, they're better, they're superior. We love seeing how other people aren't as good as we are. We love placing them beneath us in our mental hierarchy. We love finding their flaws, their mistakes, their failures, because it makes us feel better about our own. But here's what we don't realize. Every box we put someone else in, we're also building for ourselves. Every standard we use to judge others becomes a standard we have to live up to. Every criticism we level at someone else becomes a fear about ourselves. We're caging ourselves with our own thoughts. We're imprisoning ourselves in our own mental constructs. And then inevitably, we fall into the very categories we once condemned, because we're human beings, not perfect thinking machines. The mind that doesn't leave room for the soul to falter is a mind that will eventually break. We need to stop this. We need to stop thinking our way through life and start feeling our way through it. We need to stop analyzing every experience and start having experiences. We need to stop categorizing everything and start accepting the uncategorizable. We need to teach our children to process emotions, not suppress them. Not because emotional outbursts make us look bad as parents, but because feeling is part of being human. We need to become conscious of what we're consuming, not just food, but media, content, ideas. What are we clicking on? What are we supporting? What are we unconsciously endorsing every time we engage with content that tears someone else down? We need to stop defining people. Stop putting them in boxes. Stop needing to understand everything about everyone. Some things are meant to be mysterious. Some people are meant to be unknowable. Some experiences are meant to be beyond comprehension. We need to take our discomfort with the unknown and sit with it, settle into it, make friends with it, because uncertainty is the only certainty we have. The fact that you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow isn't a flaw in the system. It's the system. The fact that you can't think your way to happiness isn't a personal failure. It's the human condition. Major change doesn't happen through massive intellectual breakthroughs. It happens one feeling at a time, one moment of presence at a time, one instance of choosing intuition over analysis at a time. We have to move from our minds to our hearts, and I know that sounds like a cliché, but clichés become clichés because they're true. Your mind will never understand what makes us all the same. Your mind is designed to find differences, to categorize, to separate. But your heart knows, your body knows, your soul knows. They know things your mind could never figure out, no matter how much you think about them. This is the art of mindlessness. Not being unconscious, but being conscious of something beyond thought. Not turning off your brain, but recognizing that your brain isn't the only intelligence you possess. It's feeling the sun on your face without needing to think about vitamin D. It's laughing without analyzing why something's funny. It's crying without needing to understand exactly what you're sad about. It's loving someone without needing to list the reasons why. It's trusting that the unknown isn't empty. It's full of possibilities your mind can't imagine. It's understanding that uncertainty isn't a problem to solve. It's the space where life actually happens. Your mind wants to know everything, control everything, understand everything. But your soul just wants to experience everything, and you can't experience what you're busy thinking about. So maybe it's time to practice a little mindlessness. Not the kind where you check out and go through life unconsciously, but the kind where you consciously choose to stop thinking so much, where you consciously choose to feel instead of analyze, where you consciously choose to experience instead of understand. Because the truth is, the best parts of life happen in the spaces between thoughts, in the moments when your mind finally shuts up and lets your soul speak, in the experiences that are too big for words, too profound for analysis, too real for thought. That's where you actually live, not in your head, but in the mindless, wordless, thoughtless space of pure experience. Your mind will never understand this, and that's exactly the point. Stop thinking about it. Start living it. That's the art of mindlessness, and it might just save your life.